Hey Zoomies, so those of you who are at home and not going to get a chance to do this on Thursday and Friday of this week, in my class, maybe another day for one of the other teachers, this is the Ziploc bag chem lab. So this sheet is linked on the classroom page so you can see it. I'm going to give you the data points here that you can use on the masses. So what I've done is I've taken baking soda into this container right here, and I'm going to place a water cup inside there. I'm going to weigh it before I spill the water in. Then I'm going to notice a chemical reaction. I'm going to weigh it again. I'm going to repeat the process with a solution that is just calcium chloride and water, and then with one where I'm mixing the baking soda, the sodium bicarbonate, and the calcium chloride in the water and putting it on the scale. I'm going to get the mass of all three, if I can, and then we're going to look to see if there's any change in mass. If matter is conserved and the system stays sealed, we all know what should happen. So, what I'm going to be looking for also in this is evidence of a chemical reaction. Okay, so the tricky part is not spilling the water before I get the masses. So I'm going to put this in here as carefully as I can. This is always kind of a little bit difficult. And I'm going to try and squeeze down to get as much of the air out as I can. I'm not going to be able to get it all out, but I'll be able to get most of it out. And I got to get a nice tight seal. Okay. Now I'm going to measure the mass of my sealed system, this is a closed system, in grams, and I get 66.3 grams. So my sodium bicarbonate and water, I'm just going to go ahead and give you guys the totals here. If the kids in class are going to do each amount separately and add it up, but I'm just going to go ahead and do the total before as one shot. So that's 66.3. And now I'm just going to spill the water in, and I'm going to see if there's a chemical reaction that occurs. So as I look at this, I can see it's kind of starting to dissolve. Oh, it gets really cold. Okay, so that's evidence of an endothermic reaction. So the water got cold, it got kind of cloudy, and my mass is still 66.3 grams. So there's no change in mass, but obviously something's happened because the water is now cloudy and it's got really cold to the touch. It's nice and chilly. So now I'm going to do the same thing with the calcium chloride and the water. Really trying not to spill it beforehand. As much of the air out as I can. So we have a mass before of, this one is 57.7. And I'm going to spill this out. Rub it together. Ouch. It's almost hard to touch, it's so hot. Hopefully it doesn't melt the bag. Yeah, it's super warm. Especially down here where the granules are. You barely even touch it. Move this around so it doesn't melt the bag. If I keep it in one corner, it can melt through the plastic. It gets that hot. So you guys can't feel the heat there. The granules are slowly dissolving away. Just keep mixing them around until they're all gone. And this water temperature has gone from cool tap water to water that's almost unpleasant to touch. So, and if matter is conserved, sure enough, our mass is unchanged. So matter has been conserved in both these cases. So that's probably more dramatic if you're here and you can actually feel the difference in temperature. Our last demo, we're going to take the water, and I've got a mixture of baking soda and the calcium chloride in here. So there's more stuff, so it should be a little heavier. Not much, 79.3. Now, when I mix this together, it starts to fizz. So there's a gas being produced. Uh-oh, it's getting big. Let's get the mass before it does anything. 72.3, oh, and it pops. Okay. It was at 79.3. Obviously, if I wait now, I've lost some material, and it's popping, I gotta clean up. So, on the back of the sheet, you gotta explain how each reaction changed, cite the evidence that you see, and then at the bottom there, I want you to try and figure out what the reactants versus the product was in the last one. What was the gas that was produced as we went through there? So there's 3 different chemical reactions: heat producing, which is exothermic; heat absorbing, which is endothermic. The exothermic usually is when you have smaller molecules building into a bigger molecule, and it takes energy absorbed to do that. Exothermic is usually when you take a bigger molecule and you break it into smaller pieces. The calcium chloride separates, releasing heat. And the last one was a more complicated reaction. The sodium bicarbonate and the calcium chloride in solution reacted and produced the gas that we saw. You should be able to put those chemicals together and see which gas it was. If you don't have the chemical equation perfect at this point, that's okay. But I do want you guys to do your best, and you should be able to identify the gas. Thank you.